All right, folks, want to bring you some live pictures, or I'm sorry, some pictures that we're getting out here of a car chase in Los Angeles. See that blue sedan there? That's a blue Honda, we understand, and it has been driving erratically for almost the last, this has been going on, as we understand it, for about the last hour. This is the Upper San Fernando Valley area, just so you know, and this car has kind of been out of control, actually traveling the wrong direction on several surface streets. Apparently, it has traveled on the 405, the 118, the 5 freeways. Obviously, we only see one or two police cars behind it there. But we want to go to Steve Carty. He's a former motorcycle policeman. Steve, thank you so much for being with us. When you've got a car, let me ask you about this scenario. When you've got a car, and we don't know why police began this pursuit. We need to point that out. We don't know how many people are in the car, but when you have a car that's driving it as erratically as this one is, the wrong way on surface streets, and as you just saw there, just went through an intersection, and an accident could have happened there with that car coming through. What is the protocol for police?
Well, he's traveling at a rather high rate of speed. You see there that he almost had a collision with another vehicle.
Right.
He's running from the police for a reason, and he's doing so in a very reckless manner. But they do have police cars in pursuit.
And now, when you get to surface streets, because obviously we were talking about how this car, we understand, and it's been going on for an hour again, was on several main artery freeways, we should point out. And here he goes through another intersection without any regard to anybody. Now he's turning all over the place here. Looks like maybe police would be thinking about a pit maneuver of some sort.
Well, it's a little bit dangerous to do the pit maneuver right now because of the high rate of traffic that we have, or the high volume of traffic that we have here. What they'll probably want to do is get some cars up ahead and possibly use the strips on him to slow him down and make him less likely to injure someone.
Steve, are you watching this with us?
I've got it on right now. It looks like they may, it looks like he slowed down.
He did slow down a little bit. It is really disconcerting, though, to see him swerve to the other side of the road, going in the wrong direction, because you never know. Obviously, we don't have a wide shot to know what's coming up.
Right.
But can you, in any way, give us an indication of how fast you think they might be going at this point?
Well, right now he looks like to be traveling at about 40 miles per hour, just based upon the view that we have from the camera. But earlier he was traveling much faster, and the faster he goes, that's a 3,500-pound death machine if he crashes into someone. You know,
it's interesting that as he does kind of blow through these intersections, oh, okay, here we go. It looks like the police officer was coming up on him again. The other cars, everybody else has stopped. I mean, are they giving out over the radio warnings, obviously, on where this car might be as people may be driving in those particular areas?
Yeah, I've been in L.A. during pursuits like this, and it is typical for the local media, the local radio stations to follow that, and they may be giving a blow-by-blow on where they are, or it could be just that it's the luck of their travel time that they are hitting these intersections when traffic is at a slow pace.
Okay, here he goes, taking another left-hand turn. Oh, is he going to... It looks like he's slowing down. We really can't gauge what he's going to do, being on these surface streets. And here comes the police car up to the left side of him, and he's going to turn around again. Is it true, Steve, that a lot of these guys who run from police in car chases, that they go to areas that they're familiar with?
Yeah, they do, and many times it also happens that they're in areas that they're not familiar with, based upon how eager they are to get away, and how this person, his maneuvers and the way he's driving almost makes me believe as though he's certainly intoxicated to some degree, whether by drugs or by alcohol.
Okay, and we can see
they're
here
boxing him in here. Yeah.
Yeah, they've boxed him in. It looks like he's the only one in the car, based from our vantage point from this helicopter. Police obviously have their guns drawn.
Yeah, here we go. So he's given up. His hands are coming out. The officers are approaching the car. They're ordering him out. They're ordering to keep his hands view. The other officer's checking the rear of the car for any occupants. We don't know if this vehicle...
Oh, and there goes the car.
Yep.
Okay, so obviously and the car just backed up into the police car.
And we're going to have a little bit of a... okay, they got him outside on the ground. Car's going to move. The officer's
okay. We understand now this started as a failure to yield traffic stop. Now we know what this was about in Carson, California, we're told. Obviously, one thing that struck me was the police officers, very bold, obviously going up to that car, and weren't afraid of him. They at some point realized maybe that he didn't have a weapon.
Well, by him showing his hands, they still kept their guns on him. If they did have a taser available, that would have been the time to employ it. But right now it looks like it's come to closure without any further incident. No officers apparently injured, and the suspect in custody.
Okay, yeah, well, four police cars I think we see there outside this residence. We want to watch the arrest again because it's interesting. He pulled into a home. You have to wonder, don't you, Steve? Does he live here?
In all likelihood, no. He did probably make a turn into an unfamiliar area, and they were able to box him in, and he chose not to crash into the police cars. And we see here on the repeat, the officer's approaching. He appears to be compliant. He's got his hands out, which is a good indication. Now we've met with a little bit of resistance. So the officer.
Yeah, I was going to say, why would he hold his hands up and then not get out of the car when they ordered him to do so?
Yeah, again, we don't know if he's intoxicated. We don't know if he's a violent individual. And we see here that they did get him out of the car, and they did take him into custody without further ado.
Yeah, all righty. Boy, Steve Carty, a former motorcycle police officer. Steve, thank you so much for walking us through this. We appreciate having your expertise here. And again, you're seeing the very end of what has been an hour-long police pursuit in the upper San Fernando Valley area of this sedan, at one point going the wrong way on surface streets and at very high speeds on several of the main arteries there in L.A., the 405, the 118, and the 5. So it looks like they have things under control now, and he is in handcuffs. And as soon as we hear anything about why this all happened, we'll let you know. But again, it was a failure to lead in Carson, California, or failure to yield, rather, that started this whole thing.